Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Andrea.
Welcome to Nerd News Today. We just went to New York Toy Fair 2019. We just got back a few days ago, and we're going to tell you about all the hits, the misses, the wins, the losers, and everything else we saw at Toy Fair this year.
And the exhaustion.
Yeah.
So much exhaustion.
So first off, just want to say hello to all the new subscribers we got, because this was one of the biggest years I've ever had with new people watching. I think part of that was because we were doing live streams.
Yeah, the live streams were pretty awesome. You did run into some quality.
We had some issues here and there, which we learned how to deal with, and the next time we do it, it'll be better, which, by the way, might be in a few weeks at another event coming up soon.
I know, I'm excited.
But thank you all for all the new people that are joining us. For those who don't know what we do on this channel, normally we do a lot of toy reviews. We're going to be doing some more stuff about comics and movies, some analysis of things.
We're going to do some pop culture stuff, not just toys.
We're going to really spread out, but this is a little bit more of what you're going to kind of see here. Mm-hmm. So thank you for being here, and I hope you guys will stick around to watch everything we're going to be making.
It's cool. Watch us.
So Andrea and I just went to New York Toy Fair very recently. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you missed the final day.
Yeah, I got very sick. Still trying to figure out exactly what was wrong with me, but yeah, I was a mess. There was no way I could handle that that last day. I barely made it through the second to last day. It's okay, I still got to see most of it.
You saw most of it, and there's things you saw that I didn't see, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
So between the two of us, we basically saw most of the stuff of the show, but not everything, because it's so enormous.
Really, if you guys have been to the Javits, you know how big it is. There's just no way, even in 4 days, to actually cover everything.
It's really not. And again, I live streamed twice from the showroom floor, just because I think a lot of people don't really know what the Javits Center looks like. They have no idea what it is or how big it is. And so we did a few live streams to show everybody how enormous it was. We wandered around through what I call Action Figure Alley. We walked around on the lower level. And again, a lot of people are saying, you need to go to all the booths and look more, but it's just impossible to look at every single booth in that amount of time.
Yeah.
It cannot happen. But again, you guys got a little peek of what we see. So if you haven't checked out that video of me just wandering and talking to everybody and explaining how Toy Fair works, go ahead and check that one out in the channel. But anyway, we both saw a ton of stuff. And I think we should start running down all the really cool things we saw.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so why don't we start with the very first thing we did, which was Mezco.
Mezco is always a fun booth to go to. If you guys aren't familiar with Mezco, they do this fantastic line of 112 figures. They do a lot of horror stuff. And one of the things that they do the Living Dead dolls. And one of the most recent things that they just started doing, which I'm super excited about, is they have the Hanna-Barbera license. So what they're doing now is they have the retro style figures.
The 3 3/4 inch based on the old Kenner figures.
Exactly. And so they had Scooby-Doo and Team. They had Elias. What is he? Is he
He's
a monster?
He's a ghost from Scooby-Doo, yeah.
No, I know he's a ghost from Scooby-Doo, but is he considered a ghost, a zombie? I can't remember.
He's a guy in a costume.
Yeah, basically, if you guys saw him, you'd know him. He's awesome.
He's the blue ghost.
Yeah, he's the blue ghost. So they have the Hanna-Barbera license, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing with that next.
And they also have the Warriors license for both 112 and the 5 points.
Yes,
collection.
And those looked really fun. And the thing is, it's like, I'm not a huge Warriors fan, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate their place in pop culture. So I like seeing it, because it's like got this big cult following, and now I feel like it's getting the recognition that it's really been due.
Yeah. And Mezco, their toys in particular, they look so good. I mean, it's Hot Toys quality, but not Hot Toys prices, because they are so much smaller.
But their stuff is just so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fabrics that they use for the 112s and for the Living Dead dolls. Their stuff is well articulated, it moves well, it poses well.
The big story, I think, coming out of Mezco, besides the debut of the 5 points figures and a lot of the really cool toys they had showing up, was the exclusives they had this year for us press folk.
Oh my gosh,
so
that was crazy.
We both got one. There was 2 exclusives that they gave out, which is for the 112 collective. They gave out a Toy Fair exclusive Blade and a Toy Fair exclusive Agent Gomez.
Who is Agent Gomez?
Agent Gomez is their mascot, apparently, and everybody was going insane for this figure.
Oh my god.
Scalpers were going nuts.
Yo, what was happening on eBay was just ridiculous. I mean, okay, look, Agent Gomez, yeah, of course they're not going to be releasing this one.
They did actually put them up afterwards for a brief sale on the website, and that sold out apparently very quickly.
But that's what I mean. What I was going to say is they're not going to put up a large amount of this. So it's not going to be a huge lot. So of course there's going to be a demand. I know that they're going to be coming out with different costumes
Yeah.
and outfits for him, which is cool. So that way people can still get their hands on Agent Gomez. But wow, I don't really pay attention to eBay, but some of the other press people were talking about the numbers that Agent Gomez was going for, and was like, ooh,
Yeah,
we're at least gonna look.
I think the highest it sold for was like 1,400 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Again, there will be more chances to get Agent Gomez in the 112 scale.
Yeah, just not
the difference won't be that one, and especially you won't have the Toy Fair sticker. That's going to make it more valuable.
Yeah, but it looks so cool. I'm really glad they did this.
Yeah.
No.
And to any of the press folks out there that were selling it, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that, because these are given to us for review purposes, not to sell and make money. So
yeah, I know that's always something I'm never comfortable with. If you review it and then decide that maybe you don't want to hang on to it, okay, I can kind of understand that, but
just to flip it right away.
Yeah, because there was no way for some of these, there was no way they could review it that quickly.
It's a little disgusting, honestly, and then doing stuff like that, it makes us worry about future years. Like maybe they're going to stop doing exclusives because people are flipping them so quick.
Yeah, so that's just one of the little backstage kind of things that you get to hear about regarding the ins and outs of Toy Fair.
Yeah. So I think you didn't get a chance to actually go into this booth, but I did. And that's usually my day one first stop besides Mezco. So once I get done with Mezco's event, I head over to NECA.
Oh,
And
so
NECA had a lot of great stuff this year. I mean, just starting with the revised Golden Girls in their Mego style.
that was the one that hurt. That hurt not being able to see those.
They fixed up the costumes. Apparently that was an issue from when they
It was a
debuted them.
huge issue. They look like they were wearing sacks.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Now they look really good. So yay.
I saw a picture you sent me. It hurts to know how good they look.
Well, you'll have them one day, hopefully.
I hope so, because I know, who would have thought Golden Girls would have been one of the hottest nostalgia kind of items out there? But here we are, and they are.
And they also had a really great looking, again, same Mego style, 8-inch Bob Ross figure. With it comes with a palette, comes with an actual canvas on. Yeah, no, it's a really great toy. I'm gonna probably end up getting that one.
Anyone who's watched this channel knows that I love Bob Ross too. So
yeah.
so yeah, Bob Ross. Yeah.
And again, they had more Karate Kid figures. Again, in that same Mego
cool.
style. They debuted a few new ones we hadn't seen before, including the Mr. Johnny Lawrence in his Halloween outfit, which is a really cool one.
I like that.
We got Mr. Miyagi and the actual playset now with Cobra Kai versus Daniel-san. Really cool set. Besides that, NECA had a lot of new Alien stuff, new Predator things for the Predator movie, Alien Resurrection.
Ooh. Yeah, I know this stuff makes you happy.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of those, and we'll be reviewing those very soon. I'm actually, I was lucky enough to be able to buy the Apone and Scorpion Alien figure, which, as of this video, I think they've just started shipping. So we're going to have that review probably first before a lot of people, in fact. So yeah,
That's pretty great.
It'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from the Aliens and Predator stuff, NECA does a lot of great things with their horror license. And this year they had a lot of things for Halloween, for Nightmare on Elm Street, for Friday the 13th, including both their normal 7-inch figures and the 8-inch Mego style. There's a new Freddy there, in fact, from A New Nightmare, which I don't know if you even saw. Well, I'm going to put a picture right over it. Once you're done crying, I'll put a picture over it.
Sorry, Freddy's my jam, and I love that NECA has been doing a Freddy from each movie.
Yep.
I hate the makeup from The New Nightmare,
It's
but
really
I don't
bad.
care. I mean, it was awful. It was so awful. I'll fight anyone who says otherwise.
It was pretty bad, but it looks good as a toy, I'll say
That's
that.
what I'm saying. It looked, I'm so sad
It's
I missed
alright.
this. Okay, I'm cool.
Well, I come from Andrea. I'll also tell you about some other stuff I saw.
Oh, yeah, make me even sadder.
So they had a new line debuting called Toonie Terrors, which is all of our classic guys we just mentioned, but they're in a more cartoony style.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you had a chance to see that either.
I didn't get to see any. I got to see the booth from afar. So the cool thing about
I'm gonna show her a photo.
oh god, this is gonna hurt.
Yep.
So the cool thing about NECA is that they also have Kid Robot, and they have what is it, WizKids? So it's like they're basically one enormous booth, but in 3 different sections. And quite frankly, the NECA section was always really full when we had time to get over there. And then I missed the last day, and that's always the day where I forced myself into any and every booth that I haven't gotten a chance to get into yet. So I got to see Kid Robot, but I didn't get to see the NECA side.
Ah, it's too bad.
I am very sad about that.
So they have Freddy and Jason to start with. So you'll see it, and they're gonna see it.
What? Aww.
That's not all. They also have both Pennywises.
I feel like this is almost what Stephen King envisioned when he was writing everything.
No.
But that oh my.
Really great figures, yeah. And besides that, they're also going to be having more figures of, well, actually, the figures of Pennywise, both of them are coming out soon. The Tim Curry and the 2017 It version. They're coming out soon. And I showed you an accessory from that Tim Curry one.
I know! Oh my god, it is the coolest accessory. Like, no joke, we see so many different action figures. We see so many different dolls and figures and everything, whatever, that come with cool accessories. But this is by far one of the coolest things I have ever seen. And that's saying a lot.
Can you tell them what it is?
I'm so excited. Okay, so in the TV series with Tim Curry, there's a moment where Pennywise sticks his hand through a book. Like he's in the photo, he's the photograph, and he sticks his hand out into the real world. They made the book, and they made it with Pennywise sticking his hand out.
Yeah.
And it looks phenomenal. Oh my god.
My photo really doesn't do it justice because it looks so much better in person. Like how
and
three-dimensional it is and how it really looks like it. Like it's a really jarring, disturbing accessory.
Photo is pretty good.
Yeah, the photo is great.
But if you're saying that doesn't do it justice,
no.
I'm saying I need to get my hands on that.
Yeah, when you see that in person, you're gonna.
Oh my god! If you're an It fan, this is one of those things that you have to have.
But yeah, they had a lot of other new horror toys. They had stuff from Nightbreed debuting as well. Different scales of the figures. So if you're a horror fan, NECA always has your back. They've always been making great horror figures. And this was a very good year, and will be a good year. And in fact, for anybody who's a fan of the Friday the 13th series, they're finally doing Part 5 Jason, which is interesting because it's not actually Jason. Part 5 is Roy Burns. It's a guy pretending to be Jason in the entire movie.
Huh.
So they actually made that toy, and with a removable hockey mask so you can see his face. So
that's cool.
Hardcore Jason fans are going to be really happy about that one. And so besides that, they also debuted some new stuff from the Godzilla King of Monsters movie, which is really cool. We got to look at our first shots of Godzilla, of Mothra, of Rodan. We did find out that there's going to be no King Ghidorah because it's going to be too big, unfortunately, they told us. We actually spoke with one of the reps on a live stream, which, again, the quality of our guided tour live stream wasn't too great, but we did another live stream before that that's really good, so you guys can check that out. But again, they did say that King Ghidorah will not be coming out because it's just going to be too expensive to make. So, unfortunately, yeah, you won't be able to get it from NECA, but other companies are making King Ghidorahs. I think, in fact, Bandai Tamashii Nations is going to make a King Ghidorah. Smaller, but still going to look good. But it will be expensive because it's a tough thing to make. But the big news, I think, from Toy Fair with NECA is the Ninja Turtles line is going to continue.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so fans who know
what?
The website, they know right now that the San Diego Comic-Con 2017 set, which was the cartoon figures, that's being released now in Targets in 2-packs. So all 8 figures will be available. Good luck finding them. May the odds be ever in your favor. But the big news is we're getting cartoon versions, Bebop, Rocksteady. You missed those two, huh? Let me whip out the camera. So we're going to get Bebop and Rocksteady. And
this is why you don't get sick during Toy Fair.
Especially on the last day. All right, here you go. This is Andrea's first time seeing it.
Just going to take that now.
Okay. Well, while she looks at that, I can also let you guys know that another report came out saying that the movie line, the 1990 movie line, will be continuing. So we are going to be getting apparently Splinter, Casey, and April very soon at some point. So Splinter is going to be next, is the rumor. And then after that, we'll get Casey Jones, and then we'll get April O'Neil at some point.
From the movie?
Yep, the movie versions.
That's kind of weird.
That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me, but they want to finish the movie line.
I get that, but that's kind of weird.
It's kind of cool, though, because they never had figures of any of those people.
No, I think it's great. It's just...
Oh, you're not done yet. All right.
God, these look so good.
So yeah, the Turtles line is going to continue, and the cartoon version as well may continue beyond what we're seeing here, too. So let's hope it does well enough that we're going to get a lot more of this.
Oh, my God, people... God, they have the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm okay. I'm waiting for them, though, to come out with my... I want my cartoon version of April.
Hopefully we'll get her. If they're going to do the movie version, they have to do the cartoon version.
Yeah, I'll be
too.
really upset if they don't, because if they're going to do the rest of the...
All that matters is that they have the ability to do this now.
Yes,
a few years ago, they were fighting to even do any of these figures. Now they're getting them into major retailers.
Oh, my God, that's so awesome.
Targets.
Targets.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody. May the odds be ever in your favor. So I also checked out Super7. Again, that's one of my earlier streams of the day one, in fact.
Super7's a fun one.
Their booth has gotten so much bigger. Like, they're a real story of a winning company. Like, they started out basically they're the ones who started the reaction figures. So they've been growing as a company. Their booth has been growing in size, and their amount of product has been growing. This year, they bring a lot of stuff each year, too. They don't dick around at Toy Fair. This year, it was like 3 times as much they had last year.
Yeah.
Easily 3 times.
Yes, because there's a whole walk around booth.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things about Toy Fair is that a lot of booths tend to stay in the same area. But this year, there were a lot of changes. A lot of booths were changing it up, and Super7 was one of them. Their booth, normally it's just been kind of one big display case. This year, they have the display case that's that same size that we're used to, but it's on both sides this time. So they were in a completely different location, so that way you could walk around it.
And it had a lot more stuff, as we mentioned.
Oh,
I mean, in a year where a lot of toy companies are clearly suffering, Super 7 is thriving.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of amazing stuff. They had Pee Wee Herman stuff now this year. Pee Wee's Playhouse toys coming out.
Okay.
Their Universal Monsters line is expanding to have
really
more
nice
stuff, including minifigures.
Yeah, but I really just love the baskets.
Yeah,
the
they have Halloween baskets, which are kind of cool. Those are kind of fun. We've seen those before, though.
I know, but I just, like, those always just have a special place in my heart.
And they have figures now, bunch again, debuting figures, Beavis and Butthead reaction figures.
Yeah.
We're getting a whole line of RoboCop figures that I'm excited for.
Cool.
Cannot wait to get those, including the Ed 209. We've got Teen Wolf. We got Breakin'.
And then there's the Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Crusader.
Sorry, then there's the Toxic Crusader.
Because that's based on the Playmates toy line and the cartoon show in the mid-90s of Toxie and his friends.
Yeah, so I only got to do a very quick walk around of Super 7, so I just got a very brief overview, but I know you really looked into it, and you were telling me some really cool facts about the Toxic Crusader.
It is, again, pretty much a 100% accurate rendition of the Playmates toy, including the accessories. The accessories are identical to what he came with. It just looks amazing.
I just think that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, replicating the accessories, I don't think...
It's a really nice touch.
Yeah.
Down to the mop with the American flag on.
And that's really one of the cool things about Super 7 is that they're very good about details like that.
And they do have the entire license, because they're not just making Toxie. They're making minifigures of the entire, basically, pretty much the entire original toy line. They're making minifigures of that. So I'm hoping that means if Toxie does well, we'll get more 7-inch figures.
Too. And then there was that other thing that you told me about that I thought was really, really cool.
Planet of the Apes?
No, but let's talk about that.
Luchadors? Robotech?
There's so much good stuff.
They had a lot of good stuff. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's my shame. It's my guilty pleasure and my shame.
Why don't you tell them?
Okay, so one of the things that Super 7's really known for is that they have the He-Man line. But it's not just that they have the He-Man line, as in the animated show.
Masters of the Universe show.
So, Masters of the Universe show. Fine, whatever. We'll make it all proper. They have the license for the movie. For Masters of the Universe, aka that movie that came out in the 80s with Dolph Lundgren,
Frank Langella,
and early Courtney Cox. Yeah, so they are going to be producing figures from the movie. So there was the dude with the hair, the minion.
Yeah, which I think his name is Karg.
Yeah, he was that cool minion with that,
the hook hand.
Yeah, but he was weird because he also was kind of skeletal looking, and he had all that hair.
Yeah, he was
He had like a mullet-y
but a very unique character.
Yeah, you know him when you see him. They had Skeletor.
2 Skeletors.
Yeah, 2 Skeletors.
They had Skeletor, normal Skeletor, and then they had him with the power cosmic or whatever that was at the end of the movie.
That was cool.
Golden Skeletor.
With the horns.
Yeah.
And who else did they have?
Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the most
all the
important
people.
one.
Well, wasn't it last year that they came out with Gwildor?
Gwildor, yeah. Gwildor came out last year, so I don't know how many more they're going to do, but we could still get Tila, Man-at-Arms, and Evil Lyn.
I would really like that, and quite frankly, I'd really like a Cosmic Key.
Well, they made that with Gwildor.
He did come with that? Oh, yeah. I forgot I said that. You might want to edit that out. Because I didn't remember that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, cool, because I want a bigger version, though. I want my own Cosmic Key, damn it.
All right, well, we'll get you one. Someone will make a prop. We'll get like Factory or Entertainment Earth to do it.
I just want somebody to make a prop of that because it was a fun prop. Yeah, I saw the Dolph Lundgren, and that was pretty cool. It looks like him.
Oh, it's a great figure.
Yeah.
I will probably buy that. We'll see. I kind of want to get it. They do great work. Well, all their figures, great stuff.
Yeah.
They're a little company that came out of nowhere. They've been really pushing hard, and they're becoming like one of the top action figure makers now.
They're really great.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's definitely a highlight. Because also, who really gives Masters of the Universe any real attention?
Yeah.
So one of the cool places that I saw, I know you saw them too, but I know I spent a little bit more time oohing and awing and gushing in like a total girly kind of manner with people, was McFarlane. McFarlane Toys. They're expanding the Fortnite line.
Yeah, it's a really big line now.
It's definitely cool. They're even doing some cosplay props. Like they have the horse head, like the unicorn horse head, and a few other cool things.
And they're the only company to have the shopping cart.
Yes, they are the only company to have the shopping cart. They're doing the paragliders, which is really cool. They have 2 different types. I actually suggested that they find a way to make them interchangeable, so that way you're not spending as much money on getting all the basic glider stuff, but that way you can just like interchange the stuff. But we'll see if they do it.
So they also had Game of Thrones figure making their debut, which they broke the news the day before Toy Fair, but seeing them in person, Those are great. They won't have as much articulation as their other figures will, but they still will have a lot. They won't just be action figures. They will be action figures.
Oh my god, they have dragons.
They have dragons, and they...
Oh my god, they shoot stuff, and it looks so good.
They only showed 2 of the dragons,
yes.
But the third dragon, I think Rhaegar is who they're missing, and they will make him fairly soon as well. So they also had a few new things from Call of Duty, from Borderlands, Cuphead building sets.
But no, real quickly, I want to talk about the Cuphead's construction set for a second, because anyone who's actually watched this knows that we've had some issues with construction sets and McFarlane. If not, feel free to go back to our Rick and Morty series.
So painful.
Oh gosh. But one thing I really want to talk about is because I was very vocal about my feelings towards the Rick and Morty construction sets. Just looking at the Cuphead sets, which look so cool.
Yeah.
And quick side note, the packaging was made by the people from Cuphead. They got the Cuphead people to give it the same feel so that it all works together seamlessly. But the construction set looks so good. Like it looks like a construction set is supposed to look.
Yeah, they really improved.
You can tell that there's been a huge change in it. And I hope at some point we can get a hold of some of the product to review it, because I'd love for them to have a redemption story.
Yeah, if only.
I hope so. Because the set actually looks pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have played Cuphead, but either way, that animation, like the whole vibe of it is just really fun.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
Besides that, they had the anime license,
which is
they're continuing. So we're going to get One Punch Man. And again, One Punch Man, the only version they had was an older prototype, which only has like 5 points articulation. The real one will have more articulation. It will be as articulated as the others.
Yeah, which is very neat.
Yeah, and they have My Hero Academia, which is really
You're
cool.
excited about that.
Yeah, because they've got Bakugo coming out. They've got Doria. They've got All Might, and they've got Shigaraki, I think is his name, the main bad guy, basically, the hand guy. Yeah. They look really good.
But wait, before you get to the really big exciting news, so I believe it was last year they came out with a David Bowie Labyrinth from Labyrinth.
Yeah.
And it looked really good. They're going to be doing another one, but fun fact. I mean, look, if you've seen the Labyrinth, you've seen all. It looks good. It looks great. It's David Bowie, whatever. But fun fact, the crotch moves. They actually built it so that you could move the legs in a way that the crotch moves, and they did that very deliberately.
Wow, that is an interesting fact.
That it's just a random little tidbit I was given, and I just figured I should share it all with you.
Well, that is definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm. But now we should talk about the really big news.
Yes, the big news is that McFarlane has the Harry Potter license, and we are not allowed to take any photos of this at all. Totally off limits for now. No. But we both saw it, and Andrew, why don't you tell us what we saw?
Holy crap balls, people!
Yeah, okay, you take it away now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we saw Wave 1. We did not get to see... We saw some stuff that's coming out down the line, but we're not allowed to talk about that. So, Wave 1. You get Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Voldemort. So that's really good right off the bat. But what's cool about this is they're not taking from the early, the early years and from like the first couple of movies. It's the movie license only. They don't have the book license. So that's kind of important because they can't pull certain ideas and, certain creatures from the books. But, if they happen to show up in the movies in some way, they can use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they didn't use from the first movies, the young versions of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Instead, they took from Deathly Hallows. Personally,
surprising choice.
It was a surprising choice, and you know what? I like it because
it's a bold choice.
You don't get a lot of that. I like seeing them a little bit older. I like seeing them look a little bit more haggard.
I think the last company to do that was actually NECA when they had a license, which was like over 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, it was definitely a while ago, and they're
good-looking figures. They come with the Patronuses, which is a really cool accessory.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting because I don't think we've gotten those kind of accessories before.
First time.
Yeah, so
it's a good-looking line, folks. If you're a Harry Potter head, you're gonna want these.
No, if you're a Potterhead, not a Harry Potter head.
No, I meant if you're Harry like I am.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah, I'm a Harry Potter head.
Oh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other major news from McFarlane before we move on is that they are taking over the DC license. Well, not quite taking over, but they're going to be one of the people with it. Mattel is losing the DC license as of 2020, and Spin Masters is taking the main license. We didn't really get to talk to them, but they're taking over the main license for action figures. And McFarlane in 2020 also getting the license, so they can produce figures in the McFarlane style.
So, fun thing about that is we were told that this is very much Todd's baby.
Yes.
Like, he is all up on this. This is where a lot of his focus is going to come from. He's going to go deep. I mean, of course, you're going to have your staples and the ones that you expect, but he wants to go deep.
And the license is not just for comics, it's for everything. It's the entire DC multiverse. So we're talking movies, TV, and comics, and video games and beyond.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen here because this is a guy who, I mean, aside from just being crazy talented, you know he cares about this.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting some really good things, and I'm a little scared in a good way to see what happens next year. Clearly, because they had just announced that they could not show us stuff, but I promise it's coming. I swear on, I don't know, this set, it's coming.
Suddenly the set falls apart.
Yeah, right. The same with the Harry Potters. Everybody's been clamoring for it. We know it exists. We've seen it with our eyes. You know, our 4 or 8 eyes, however you want to look at it. We've seen them exist. Oh my god, you guys are going to be in for such a treat.
So I also saw the Diamond Select booth, and I recommend you guys check out that video separately because I did a big tour with their toys. They've got a lot of new stuff, including Westworld figures. Their Bruce Lee line debuted this year. John Wick figures, Sonic the Hedgehog. This is the first year they have the Star Wars license, which is because of their acquisition of Gentle Giant. So that's very exciting.
This is going to hurt me because I was supposed to see them the last day.
You missed it. Yeah, you missed Diamond, so I'm just going to kind of breeze through it. But you can check out the video as well.
I will, except it'll hurt.
It will hurt, but yeah. A lot of cool stuff. And I think the big thing I'm excited for is they're doing some more mini-mates. And they're going to have X Factor mini-mates from the 90s, which look really good. And they will have then the X Factor from the mid-90s. With Strong Guy, I think, has to build a figure or something, or he's like the special 5th figure.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, very cool. I think my favorite thing that I saw was their action figures. And they've been continuing to do their line of like the Jim Lee era X-Men. And they debuted Psylocke, which I'm really happy for. And I
love Psylocke.
I'm actually really considering starting to buy their X-Men line because I've been a fan, I guess, of what Hasbro's been doing with their Marvel Legends. And we'll talk about them briefly later. But I don't like how they make the women, honestly. I've never been a fan of how they sculpt the women. They're all just really odd. They don't look good to me. They don't look right. For whatever reason, Diamond Select, they look more realistic.
It might just be it might be how they do the body joints.
It just looks better to me, and so I might actually start collecting those because that's Psylocke. I mean, I wanted to buy the Marvel Legends Psylocke.
He sent me a picture of those, and I was just of the Psylocke, and I'm like, damn, I want that.
The Diamond Psylocke looks so good. I think that might be my first Diamond figure. I've been looking for a good Psylocke, and there has not been any good Psylocke in my opinion to this day, except for this Diamond Select one. I don't think the Marvel Legends was that good. I don't really remember what Toy Biz did with theirs.
Okay, so it wasn't.
I remember the early ones were terrible.
They weren't great, but they weren't the worst, I guess. I have them.
The earliest Psylocke I remember was a repaint of Elektra.
Yeah.
So which I didn't like. I hated.
And then they repainted that also to be like Revanche or whatever her name was. And I may have.
It was a big disappointment because again, I always wanted the Psylocke figure even as a kid, and they've all been terrible. So now I think I'm going to be starting with the DST one.
Okay, I'm excited to see when you get it. Last year, I got to see this really cool booth, 720. They're kind of debuting. Like they were basically like the offshoot of Underground Toys. They were cool because they were focusing a lot on geeky housewares. One of the coolest things I had seen, which they brought with them this year, was a timer that had bat signal, and when it went off, it shot bat signal.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to get my hands on that. But they also had like these really gorgeous like dinnerware things. And the cool thing about it, it was some of the stuff was very overt. You knew exactly, whether it was Harry Potter, Star Wars, Doctor Who, like you knew what it was, Barbie. But other stuff was like very classy. It's the kind of stuff where if you don't want to super advertise, your geekdom, you do it and people aren't going to notice. I mean, this year they had this gorgeous Princess Leia set. Oh my god, that I want. I mean, again, they had great housewares. Their Harry Potter stuff is just always really strong. They had the houses, they had like the Marauders map, but they're doing a really cool thing because it turns out that I guess one of the head guys, he used to work for Mattel. And he was talking about it, and they're coming out with this thing called Glitter Galaxy.
Huh.
And, okay, this
sounds
stuff...
shiny.
It is super shiny and colorful and bright, and it's very plush. But the best way I could describe it is, like, you have all these happy characters, and they love things bright and glittery, and, like, it's kind of like an over-the-rainbow thing, almost. Like where there's this world, and then there's that world. But it's just, they created this entire world... And all these really cool characters, all these fun things. I actually said it reminded me a little bit of like Rainbow Bright, but there are other elements of different stories and different characters and everything all in there. And it's really cute. It's really adorable. But the neat thing about them is not only do the figures and the plush have a story, but they're actually talking about books, coming out with books, activities, and other things just it's a whole enormous line, so I just think you should keep your eye out because it looked really neat.
This is a good time to mention also, Toy Fair isn't just action figures. A lot of people, I think, who are watching this video probably don't even know that.
It's everything.
It's everything. It's to be honest, action figures are the smallest part of the convention. Yeah. Probably the bigger section is mostly for babies and toddlers.
Yeah.
And then there is a lot of housewares. Housewares has been a very big thing.
Yeah.
Plush toys as well, big thing. So the stuff we're mostly talking about basically takes up 5% at best, I feel like, of Toy Fair.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more. I feel like there's been a little bit of an expansion, but not by much.
Definitely not 10.
No.
So yeah, it's a very small percentage of what we see at the entire show.
Yeah, which is why it's like we can walk through our sections pretty quickly, but then there is so much more to see, and you find the craziest, awesomest like little gems hidden in like the upstairs area, all the way in the back. Even McFarlane, which isn't in the normal area. Yeah, they have a whole different area.
They have a large booth. So that's probably why they have
such a nice booth.
Thankfully, they have a bigger booth than Funko.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like their booth so much better too. So it's really, when we say Toy Fair, we mean Toy Fair. So it's like everything. Yeah. It's like Toys R Us on crack.
That's probably why they went out of business.
Yeah, probably. So 720 is one of those really cool companies where they're not your typical toy company, but they're also just different. And also one other fun thing that I want to mention, they have a Han in carbonite barbecue set case.
Sounds fun.
And when you open it though, the actual barbecue utensils are Boba Fett.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, these guys are really cool. They're legit. You should check them out. Then there's DC Collectibles, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw DC Collectibles. You did see them as well.
I did see them.
It's a big, good year for DC coming up.
Yeah.
Very good year. A lot of Batman stuff on display.
I'm excited about that, though.
Yeah, it was probably primarily Batman, to be honest. Primarily Batman stuff. A lot of people weren't happy about that. I can understand why, but it was good stuff at least. The Batman animated series line is continuing.
Oh my god, I'm so excited about that.
There's not much left to do, but they're coming to, they're getting close to the end, it looks like, but they are expanding.
We have Scarecrow. Who else did we?
So we have Scarecrow debuting finally. We have a new Two-Face. Hardak, which is really cool to see Hardak finally. But then and then there's the Bat-Cycle.
There was the Bat-Cycle, but then...
with a brand new Batman who has an articulated cape to fit on the bike.
Yeah, it was a really cool cape. But then there's one that I was really excited about. They have the Grey Ghost.
Yes.
They have the Grey Ghost.
Finally, we have the Grey Ghost.
We've needed the Grey Ghost. I'm sorry. It's like, that's one of the best episodes of the entire series. It's always one of the ones that's in like the top 5.
Most memorable, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful episode. So it makes sense that they would finally do it.
It's a very good figure.
It looks so good.
And they're continuing the Batman animated series line in a different direction also. They're going to be doing now figures inspired by the cartoon, but of characters who weren't in the cartoon. So we're going to get started with, they have a Jason Todd
I'm
Red
excited
Hood.
about that one. That's going to be cool.
They have a Deathstroke the Terminator figure with unmasked head, which is really nice. They also are going to have Azrael, which is really cool.
Oh, cool.
Azrael,
I missed that one.
From when Batman broke his back, he's the guy that replaced him.
Yeah.
And so that was on day 1. Day 2, they had another figure come in as a surprise. I don't know if it was meant to be. Yeah, but the day you were there, it was a surprise figure. Because when I was there on day 1, it wasn't there yet. Based on the Frank Miller comic, they have Batman in the armored suit.
Oh, yeah, Superman. That was awesome.
And I got to actually meet the sculptor of that figure. In fact, he was a really cool dude. And he told me a little secret about the toy. So on the feet of that figure, he'll actually have green footing. So he'll have kryptonite in his boots.
I didn't know that.
You
never told me that.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you now.
Bastard.
Yeah. Cool. And aside from that, DC Collectibles is continuing their DC Essentials, more DC Bombshells, and a lot of Frank Miller stuff.
Oh, also, they have a Wonder Woman shield.
Yeah, an enormous Wonder Woman shield.
And the thing is, it's not like your average shield. It's got weight. I got to pick it up and try it on.
It's a hefty shield.
Oh my god, I got to put it on.
And it's not really based on one Wonder Woman incarnation. It's kind of like the idealized Wonder Woman shield, where it's based on like all things, all the movies, the TV show, the comics.
It's so cool and so heavy.
Yes, it's big.
So heavy.
It's worth checking out our coverage as well if you want to see that.
Yeah, but also one thing that I'm really excited about from the bombshell side of it, they're doing Death from Sandman.
Yeah, that must got you really excited. You were waiting for that Death to come out a few years ago that didn't actually get released.
No, a few years ago they had this gorgeous figure, and it broke my heart when they didn't release it for whatever reason. So for them to get back to doing that, I'd love to see them do Bombshell's Sandman line, just because I'd love to see how they would do Bombshells for like Delirium or Despair.
Cain and Abel.
No. I'm just talking about the female presenting ones and Desire, because
I want Cain and Abel to be ice cream salesman.
That would be awesome. surprise, exciting thing that I saw that you unfortunately got to witness my moment of insanity. Yeah, this.
Yeah.
I didn't know, man. I didn't know. Anyone who's watching the channel knows that I'm a Broadway person. Like, you know, I love theater. And last year, Entertainment Earth partnered with Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton and In the Heights fame. They have these things called Pinmates, which are really cool, small collectible wooden pegs, you know, painted to look like DC or Marvel or Star Trek, you know, superheroes. And it's a cool line. It's collectibles. And so last year they partnered with Lin-Manuel and they created a Lin-Manuel Pinmate and his dog Tobio. And it was really cute and adorable. They sold it at BroadwayCon through his company, T Rico. And, you know, they sold it on their site. And, of course, I got it. We even reviewed it somewhere in the videos. Go back. And I got into a huge conversation with the person I was talking to about it last year, about how awesome it would be if they could make Broadway Pinmates. Part of me hoped. Part of me wished. Part of me got what I wanted, because we go there and I see this one figure and I swear I thought it was Aunt May. I swear I thought it was Aunt May. I was like, oh, they're doing Aunt May, you know, Pinmate. I pick it up, I turn it upside down because they put all the names on the bottom, and it said Abuela Claudia. I was like, what? And then I paid attention because they created an In the Heights set. Yeah, that was that was Lynn's first big musical. That's what got him his first Tony. It's amazing. I might have flipped my...
Yeah, you're kind of neglecting to tell the full story here, because you went, what?
Yeah, I kind of flipped.
You may have screamed loud enough that everybody in the floor turned their head to look at you.
I don't believe that happened. I did not scream.
You weren't paying attention because you were too busy looking at all the In the Heights
I
stuff.
was loud. I won't deny being loud, but I don't think it was that bad. But either way, I don't care. I would do it again.
Loud is quite the understatement for the noise you made.
Listen, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person there who had that reaction, because I'm the only person there who understood.
I'm pretty sure you did. That's a good thing.
And the fact is, it's awesome. Found out later on, they're going to be selling it as a set of 6, because they have all the main characters in there. Yeah, I think it's a set of 6 or 8. I don't know. They're all going to be a set. It's going to probably be around 30. It's going to be later in the year. And oh my God, it's just like, look, for Broadway fans, for theater fans, it's always been a bit of a fandom, but it's been a quiet, secret one. And now, thanks to the Hamilton craze, people are able to wear their, you know, their Broadway freak flag. You know, they're allowed to wear it. They're allowed to say, hey, I love this musical, I love that musical. So to get that in Pinmate form, which is notorious for nerdy pop culture stuff, it's kind of a big deal for people like me and the rest of us.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited, and I can't wait. And honest God, Entertainment Earth, oh my God, I love you, and can you please do more? There's just a lot of really cool things that they can do, and I'm really glad they started with Lynn, and I'm hoping that they can branch out more. But seeing this was definitely one of the absolute highlights of Toy Fair for me.
So I also walked by, for the first time ever, I actually paid attention to it this year, the Games Workshop booth. They make Warhammer 40K. And I'd passed by before, never really did much because I wasn't into it up until last year when it changed. But I did go by, didn't really take too many photos. There are some new things. They had a lot more entry-level board games, in fact.
Cool.
It's more like very simplified kill team kind of games, which are fun. But the bigger news is that they had the next set of the Space Marine Heroes, which is the blind box figures. They only had the Japanese ones, but you know, Wave 1 we looked at on the site. Wave 2 we have not gotten in America yet, but it's in Japan. It's going to be Blood Angel. It's already out. Word on the street is we'll be getting those blind boxes in American packaging closer to the end of the year. So that's just a thing to watch out for if you're a Warhammer fan.
Oh, and by the way, he's leaving out the part where he was like totally hanging out in the booth and chilling with everyone and talking Warhammer stuff with everyone.
Yeah,
so,
I made some Warhammer friends. I was getting some painting tips. I actually got a critique on my painting, in fact.
Yeah, so while I might have had a louder reaction at Entertainment Earth, he found a booth that made him go, ooh, happiness.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ricky. All right, so we also got to go to the Mattel press event.
That was interesting. Yeah.
We saw a lot of interesting things there. Jurassic World continuing, a very big line for them. Toy Story 4.
There was some neat stuff for Toy Story 4, yeah.
There's some monster truck toys. Barbie having her 60th anniversary, I believe it is now.
Oh, yeah.
60th anniversary at Toy Fair.
They had the original Barbie there. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So the interesting thing that came out of that was we saw some WWE stuff there. So again, all the stuff was leaked, basically, not leaked, but officially announced about a day or two before the actual event. So sadly, it wasn't anything too new, but we did see the new retro figures.
Those look good.
We're gonna get.
I'm excited about
Yeah, so we actually saw a sneak peek at some of them previously because of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. They filmed a commercial in the old style of the original Hasbro toys.
Of course they did.
And I think from that one, they actually had, for the first time, they showed off the Randy Orton figure and the Goldust figure.
I like that Goldust figure.
Cool thing about the Goldust, he's the first one to come with an accessory. His wig is removable.
I didn't know that!
Yeah, his wig is removable. So besides those two guys, we also have Samoa Joe, who's sadly reusing the Kevin Owens body, but still looks really good. I still like him.
Yeah, no, the face was good. I liked it.
But the big exciting one out of that is Macho Man Randy Savage. And this Macho Man is really interesting. It's special because he's been painted in the design of the unreleased Hasbro figure. It was originally supposed to be a JCPenney exclusive in the green trunks. Didn't come out. Now they're making it in this form. So that's a really cool throwback.
That's very fun. I like that.
And we also got a much better close-up look of the Ultimate Editions with Ronda Rousey and Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, those look really good.
Yeah, we'll definitely be getting... I'm definitely getting Ronda. Warrior, I haven't decided yet. If you guys want me to get Warrior, let me know. But
Yeah,
Ronda's definitely on my hit list.
Yeah, it looks good. They look really good. So, it's not like the most exciting, but... So, they came out with DC Superhero Girls a few years ago, and it's been kind of weird because I don't see a lot of chatter about it. It's like, were they a show? Were they just dolls? What were they? And, I mean, they were cool. They looked good. I got a few of the figures, but it wasn't like super exciting. It really wasn't. It wasn't like, oh, I have to watch this. I have to check this out, even if it's in, small amounts of whatever. But the new thing is they're revamping it and they're doing a show. The animation looks pretty good.
It's made by Lauren Faust, who did My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, among other things.
So yeah, the voice cast is stellar. What's cool about the show is that you can see like the body types and stuff are actually a little bit different. There's some good variety. My particular favorite is Supergirl. She has real muscles. Like she got muscles. That part's pretty neat. You don't see that in animated form very often. And so they did have a line of all the gals that are going to be there. But it was just, to be honest, wasn't the most exciting because we've seen similar figures in different ways. I mean, they had some cool stuff. You had your Wonder Woman, your Bumblebee, Supergirl, and whatever.
Satana, Wonder Woman, Batgirl.
Yeah, you had like
Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz.
That part was cool.
Yeah,
I did like that. But I mean, it wasn't anything big wow. But to be honest, since they were among the few types of female action figures that I saw throughout the con. It's like I'm glad they're there, but I'm also wishing there was more.
That's kind of the thing I think too, is that they weren't action figures; they were dolls.
Yeah, exactly.
They were not action figures, and that's
that was part of the problem.
So it seems that we can report to you that the WWE Superstars doll line and / action figure line, that seems to be dead because there's nothing there for that.
No, in fact, I asked about that because in previous years, Mattel has had them with the WWE action figures. And this year they told me, well, they're really also in conjunction with Barbie, so you should check over there. Barbie had nothing.
Barbies. Yeah, there's nothing.
There was absolutely nothing.
So we're not getting those. So the John Cena, Nikki, obviously we're never going to get.
Yeah, we're never getting that one.
But the Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth, that's gone. And anything else down the line we could have seen for that, it's dead.
I'm really disappointed about that.
And I got to add on top of that too, I went to Hasbro, which I'll talk about briefly later, No Forces of Destiny. So it appears that these major companies targeting girls and trying to do action figures for them is dead. And I blame that pretty much entirely on the fault of these companies for not paying attention and doing things right.
Yeah. I can go off on a lot of stuff, but I'm going to try and keep it brief and say things like marketing. They didn't know how to market. And
terrible marketing. And DC Supergirls, too, you mentioned like you weren't really into it. That's because they had their TV line, but it never actually launched. All they had was like 1 minute long shorts. They never had a full line.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, they had these cool Lego sets, but it just popped up in stores. There was no fanfare. I didn't see many commercials, but there wasn't a big like, oh my God, you want to check this out kind of thing. And it's, quite frankly, it's BS.
Yeah.
It sucks because like the wrestling line, oh my God. I showed it to a few females of different ages who were into it, and they were into this. I mean, they liked the regular action figures too, but they liked the dolls. They liked having the different bodied figures. So I know they got some of them. They didn't market it, and it pisses me off because it's like you have a female base. You created figures because you understood that you have a female base, and then you didn't know how to
They
sell
had no
to
idea
them?
what they were doing. I mean, the dolls were one thing.
Bull.
The dolls were cool. I think the action figures were cool, but the biggest complaint I heard from a lot of male collectors in particular was that a lot of their daughters would be into it, but they weren't really. They look different. Yeah. That's why they don't want to buy them. They look different from the figures that their brothers had, and that made it hard for them to play with because it just looks so different. They didn't like that.
No, it's the same thing with the Lego stuff. And while I know Friends and the Friends and Family whatever lines and the Elves lines have done really well over the years, the minifigs are differently shaped.
Yeah, and Lego is like such an agender thing anyway. Lego has no gender. There's blocks, but they had to make them more slender looking and more feminine.
And with bigger heads.
Yeah.
Don't forget the heads.
Yeah. So and then that means you can't really combine accessories as easily.
I know, and it's so stupid.
It's a whole other rant. We'll save another episode.
Yes,
It's a big disappointment.
It was very frustrating. There's so much potential here. Like, they don't realize that they are sitting on money.
They're shooting themselves in the feet by not really learning how to market these things and basically going off what they think will sell as opposed to what actually could sell. And that's honestly like just making the same figures, just marketing them more towards girls.
Yeah.
That's all you really need. You don't need to make anything special. You don't need to change it to make it look like a doll. Just tell girls it's okay to play with it. Put them in the commercials.
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome.
That's all you need to do.
Put it this way. I mean, I'll knock the Bella twins to some degree because they're relics at this point. Sorry, you're not that old. But they're coming out with a Brie Bella, an Elite Brie, and she looks good.
Yeah, it's a good. I even want to get that figure, and I can't believe I want to buy a Bella.
Exactly. It's like she looks really good. I mean, I think I might even want to just to show some support. I love what they're doing with the female wrestlers. I want them to do more.
If they just added more women into the line, I mean, that's it. That's all you need to do. Just make more women in the line.
Exactly. Just make more women. You guys will collect it.
They'll still buy it.
Yeah, they'll still buy it.
No, they'll still have the girls buying it.
No, they'll still buy it, but they won't tell people about it.
Yeah.
Like, that'll be on the DL to some degree, which is also stupid. Rant of a different time. But yeah, the girls will buy it. And to be honest, I did like the idea of the dolls. I liked the dolls just because I like my rooted hair.
And they were good dolls. And I don't think that doing dolls is a bad idea either. I just think it was not marketed at all in a good way. That's why they were showing up at like $5 below on clearance.
Yeah, and there was also like those weird plushes that they did.
Those were
those are weird.
I didn't think those made it to market. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they did.
No, I don't know if they did either. And that's another shame because that would have been fun.
So I also went to the Hasbro. Now Hasbro is off-site. They're not in the Javits. They're in their own little building. We did very extensive Hasbro coverage as well this year. We were lucky enough to get it because we don't always get in. This year we did get in.
He got in. I did not get in.
Yeah,
let's be very clear about this. I saw nothing. I know nothing. My contacts are not as good as his contacts, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I got in. But you get to share the joy of what I saw.
I do, but still, it's not
so they have, I saw, and you can check out the videos on the channel. I saw the new My Little Pony Friendship is Magic stuff. I saw the new Overwatch stuff, which I'm very, very happy about. I'm going to be getting some of those guys.
Cool.
And in fact, by the way, for anybody who wants to see those, I'm the only person out there who has the backs of the figures. I know it's a weird thing to brag about.
You want to check out them butts.
But if you want to see like the entire view of the toys before you buy them, I'm the video to do that. So weird thing to say, but do check it out. So they also have tons of Transformer stuff, as always. You guys should just check out the separate videos for all this stuff, all the Marvel Legends. And so, again, for Transformers, there was a lot to look at. You guys should check out the video, because it's like over 20 minutes of footage I got of Transformers toys. But the one I want to talk about mostly is Ectotron. And in part exciting, part controversial. Oh. Because, so what Ectotron is, for anybody who missed it, it is a Transformer that is the Ecto-1. It is a Ghostbusters Transformer.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. That's really cool.
It's really awesome. It's really great. And I've already pre-ordered mine. And that's where the controversy comes in. This was one of the launch items from Hasbro's Pulse store, which is their new way to buy stuff. So number one, the Hasbro Pulse store. If you want to be like a special member, you got to spend like money to become a member of the store. You can still order normally. It's fine. But if you want to be a special member, you got to pay a yearly fee to order from their website. What that will give you in the future, we're not really sure yet.
That's lame.
That is kind of lame. What's even more lame is for Ectotron. Now, I got lucky. I pre-ordered it right off of Hasbro's site. That sold out in about an hour, 2 hours maybe. It sold out really quickly. The only other place to get it from was GameStop, because it's actually going to be a GameStop exclusive item as well. So people who went to GameStop got royally screwed because they'd ordered it at the price point of $40, which is the price that Hasbro had it for. After Hasbro sold out, GameStop canceled every pre-order, and if you wanted to get it, suddenly the toy is now $50.
And you wonder why GameStop is struggling to stay in business.
Yeah, really dick move, GameStop. So, yeah, way to go. So again, I also saw Marvel Legends, and I've got a lot of footage of that. If you want to check that stuff out, that's a whole separate video I hope you guys will watch. There's a lot of really great X-Men stuff. They have their 80th anniversary line for Marvel, which includes a lot of Alex Ross-inspired figures.
That's kind of cool.
It's really, really good stuff. Strong year. Yeah. And again, same thing for Star Wars also. Really great Star Wars figures coming out. Yeah. I'm not really a Star Wars collector anymore, but if you are, this is a good year because they're finally doing Episode 1 toys.
Ooh, nice.
Star Wars Black Series Episode 1. So
nice.
Padme, Darth Maul, Obi-Wan. Really good stuff coming out. All right, so we have to mention also we saw Wicked Cool Toys, and we see them every year.
Hi, Janice.
Janice is awesome. They have a lot of Pokemon stuff. Pokemon has been like the #1 brand for them, and just in general, it outsells like every other toy around the world.
Yeah, but real quick, speaking of retro, they also do Cabbage Patch Kids. They're doing retro style Cabbage Patch Kids, as well as the newer stuff. But yeah, Pokemon's been their big thing.
Yeah, so they have a lot of new Pokemon stuff. Check out our coverage of that. We did a live stream. Not the greatest quality, unfortunately, but the audio is still good, so you can still hear everything that's happening.
Yeah.
I did go back and shoot a second video, so I've got footage of all the Pokemon plush and toys.
They have some really fun stuff.
But the very exciting thing is this year, Pokemon Detective Pikachu is coming out to theaters, and they have a whole line of toys there, including, this is like the creepiest, coolest thing ever. They have a Pikachu plush with his awesome little detective hat, and if you press his hand, it goes Pika Pika, and it's normal Pikachu. Then if you hold his hand, I think for a few seconds, it becomes Ryan Reynolds.
But what? I didn't.
You didn't see that one either?
Look, it was like the press event was like really cramped.
It was
so
clustered,
trying to get anywhere near it. If
you might have been walking. You might have gone somewhere else probably at that point. I bet.
At that point, we were going to the wrestling toys.
Yeah, so you missed the Pokemon Detective Pikachu then, because it's got Ryan Reynolds' voice. It can switch back and forth. It is the weirdest, coolest thing, and it's great looking plush.
Yeah, by the way, real quickly on the Pokemon side, Mattel does have a really cool Mega Bloks thing where it's Detective Pikachu, but the head rotates, and when it rotates, he holds up a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the thing we actually were supposed to play with, but yeah. And speaking of, anybody out there asking about Mega Constructs, that's all they had.
Yeah, really.
That's all they had on display. So I don't know what the deal is with other future lines, but the focus is on Pikachu.
But it was still real cool.
I don't know if they're going to continue more stuff other than Pikachu at all this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Might be the end.
But anyway, back to Wicked Cool.
Yeah.
So they had the cool Detective Pikachu stuff, and one thing that I really liked, and I got to give them props for this, they had some really cool WWE stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we reviewed the ring they did, which was like one of our favorite rings.
Oh yeah, but now this year they have cardboard dioramas of the
Raw and SmackDown entrance areas.
Yeah, so you can make your figures do an entrance. You can stage photo shoots at the entrance, coming down the ramp and stuff.
And you can take it apart, put it back together, and apparently, I'm not sure the price. I think I had heard $10.
Yeah, it's not going to be that expensive which
is insane for something how big it is.
Yeah, but it's cardboard.
It's true, but it's still a big
nice
thing. They could have pumped that price up.
They could have. But I mean, so they have that. They also have really cool. They have the belts in mini versions of the different belts, title belts, and that was just really fun. And
what's special about them is that they're made with die-cast metal, so they're actually metallic belts. They're still rubber straps, I believe.
I believe I heard someone say that while they don't say, "Oh, put them on your figures," in theory, I believe they can fit.
It looks like they do fit, and again, you have to remember, Wicked Cool Toys is run by Jeremy Padower. He used to be the head guy at Jakks Pacific when they had the WWE license. He's the man pretty much responsible for why we have the Classic Superstars line. Because before that, no one did classic wrestlers. It was like, whatever, let's do modern guys. Because of him, they did the classics. So he knows. So he knows his wrestling figures.
Oh yeah.
So these are totally in scale, even if they're not saying they are.
I know exactly, but they're really nice.
Yeah.
They're definitely things that I'm not a belt person, and I kind of want these.
Oh, I am. I'm getting those.
Well, I know you're a belt person.
I'm a belt fanatic. And they also had their own little line of micro figures called Micromaniacs.
They're so cute.
They're very nice.
Gosh.
They're going to have old guys. They're going to have new characters.
They have females. They have males. It's like they're basically doing it. Again, they also have a decent...
It's a very good line, yeah.
It's a very good mix. So Wicked Cool is always a fun one to visit. And then there's QMX.
Yeah, so we did a nice tour of QMX. We did a live stream from their booth. A lot of folks didn't know about QMX before this.
Okay, QMX does some phenomenal stuff. And their Masterpiece collection... Oh my gosh. I mean, they've done supernatural figures. They do a lot of Star Trek, Princess Bride. I mean, this stuff looks gorgeous.
And a lot of stuff we saw last year, but the big new thing was the Bat Family statue.
They did this.
That was a real showstopper.
Yeah, so they also do this really cool thing called Q-Figs, where it's basically you have like your DC, your Harry Potter, your Marvel, your characters, but doing kind of cute. They're more cartoony. They're very adorable.
Cutified, basically.
Yeah, they're cutified, and they're doing fun, silly things. And they made a larger version. Like, they made the Bat Family, but with the vibe of the Q-Figs.
Yeah.
And it looks so good.
I think the Batman is like either 12 or 18 inches, and he's surrounded by the Bat Family, which is Robin, Damian, Red Hood, Batgirl.
This Bat Family is definitely a focus. They're going to start looking to doing more statues like that, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's gorgeous. So that was just really cool, and I want to play with that.
So we also hung out with Marty Abrams once again from Mego.
Yeah.
This time he was wearing shoes. Sorry to disappoint you all.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we hung out with Marty. They had a bunch of new things. They have a new line of bouncy balls called Heads Up.
Oh, I missed those.
Yeah, that was at the front of the booth, and they are exactly what I just said. They're balls that bounce.
I like that.
And they come with a little stand you can put the ball on so you won't lose it.
Okay,
and
so-
basically, when you put it on the stand, it looks like the actual character is the idea.
That's really cool. I like that.
So they have and this is the cool thing, they have like a lot of licenses. They have Marvel, DC, Beavis and Butthead, oddly enough. A lot of Beavis and Butthead stuff coming out now, yeah. SpongeBob.
Is there an anniversary coming out?
Must be.
Okay.
Or maybe the license just opened up this year. Who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. But of course, the big thing Mego fans want to hear about is the action figures.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of the stuff they showed was not new. We had seen a lot of this before, and Mego's pretty active on social media. So what was new was our first look at a lot of the new Kiss figures. Again, only Gene and Paul. But they're cool looking still, I guess.
Yeah.
But we did see for the first time now the 14-inch Star Trek figures.
Those look really interesting. I mean, they were just protos, basically. They were mock-ups because they just announced it, and they wanted to show that this is what the vibe will be.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like there wasn't really much else new, so that's kind of what we wanted to talk about more than anything else, was just that there was a lot of discussion about those Trek figures and how bad they looked. And quite honestly, we did ask, because we said, like, these don't look that good. They said they are protos, they're very, very early stage, they just rushed them to get to the show.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much really what I just want to talk about with Mego, because everything else has been out there for a bit. But yeah, and just on the topic of Mego real quick too, for Star Trek, since we mentioned it, they are going to be hopefully doing more Trek. They have pretty much the entire Trek properties, so there is a chance that they could be doing other non-original series. So
Except for the J.J. Abrams stuff. They don't have that.
Which, doesn't count anyway. So, yeah, but there is a chance that they could do, let's say, Next Gen. They could do DS9. They could do Voyager. They could do Enterprise. They could do the movies. So they have a pretty big universe, and it sounds like they do want to start doing that.
Yes.
Very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we're very excited about that one. Squishmallows, you've seen our reviews of them. We love them. They're coming out with some really cool stuff. They have sequenced Squishmallows. And what's cool about that is it's a soft sequence. I mean, yeah, it's a little scratchy, but sequence is a really weird kind of thing to deal with in general. These are ones where it's not that obnoxious. Like, I could see laying on them.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and they had this really cute Valentine's Day thing. Like, they're doing some pillowy sort of stuff, but it sold out so fast that they couldn't do anything. So, and other big news for them also is, for Kellytoy and everything, they're going to be doing figures. Not... So the Squishmallows are like giant pillows that look like animals, but they're now stuff where you can hug it. And, like, it looks like the actual animal.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And they also talked about how with Squishmallows, they wanted protrusions and other things. Like, they want to start playing with texture, like manes for lions, maybe having the elephant trunk come out a little bit. And they're just kind of having some fun with it. And it's all adorable. They had this bumblebee that was just... It's all adorable. It's all fun. And it's just really cool what they're doing.
Yeah, it's cute stuff.
Cute stuff. And I also know for Kellytoys, they're also starting to play with scented things, and that makes me way too happy.
How much you like to smell things.
I do like to smell things.
So one of the things I did on day one also, because I wanted to see the Ghostbusters stuff so badly, was I went to Playmobil very early on. So they have, again, stuff we actually have seen before, but it was nice to see it again in person. So I got to see the Ecto 1A from Ghostbusters 2, which is coming out later this year, very soon, I believe. And that is such a good-looking figure. We reviewed vehicle. We reviewed that Ecto 1 vehicle when it first came out, which was like 2 years ago, I guess, at this point. And it was one of my favorite Ecto 1s of all time. The Ecto 1A it stepped it up somehow. So the lights, we didn't get to actually test out the lights, unfortunately, on camera for that first one. We will be doing that for the Ecto 1A. So it's got really nice LEDs. It's got great sound effects again. It's got all the stuff on top of the car because that Ecto 1A was so loaded up with stuff.
I'm excited about that.
But what was really cool, and I wasn't sure how they were going to do it. So like on the side of the Ecto 1A, they have those big like marquees that are like electronic in the movie. And most toys don't do that, it's just a sticker. I assumed it was just a sticker. It is just a sticker on the Playmobil Ecto 1A, but it's a holographic or lenticular sticker. So...
I was supposed to see that Tuesday!
I'm sorry. Well, we'll get it in person, don't worry.
Okay, cool.
So basically, what that means is depending on the way you tilt the vehicle or how you look at it, we'll say, like on one side, Ghostbusters, where for hire. Ghostbusters, where for hire. And the other side is a different saying. So that's really smart how they did that.
Oh my god! Playmobil. Would you have really thought this from Playmobil?
Playmobil. Who knew? They also have a lot of new stuff from Playmobil, the movie coming out, which is going to be hitting,
I'm so excited about
that.
that.
I'm curious about how that's going to go. Toys look cool. I like what they're doing. You probably get to actually see the toys then.
Nope,
they're slightly different from the normal Playmobiles in that like their eyes are different. They have more expressive eyes.
Oh, I like that.
So normal Playmobil kind of have just like the black chicken eyes. Playmobil, the movie, they have the black eyes, but a little bit smaller, and they have white around them now too, so they can actually have expressions with their eyes.
Oh wow! Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that.
The big breakaway character is going to be Robotron. Take my word for it, Robotron. He's the man.
Just by what you're calling it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I also saw another company I was very excited to see. First time at Toy Fair. but not a first-time toy maker. Boss Fight Studio.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they do the Vitruvian Hacks line, which is for 3.75-inch figures, 3 3/4-inch figures, which is essentially G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And so they had Bucky O'Hare stuff, which I like, and I finally got my hands on the Bucky O'Hare figure.
Cool.
And Jenny. So they showed a few new Bucky O'Hares, including a prototype. They also have Sam and Max, which they debuted at the show. So I'm very, very excited for Sam and Max.
That's cool.
They have their horses, their steeds for the Vitruvian Hacks. So a lot of cool stuff. We did an unboxing with them as well at the event. So you guys can check that out.
So there's a NECA. We had talked about them a little bit last year with Miss Mindy and some of her cool stuff. But this year they brought a really neat Batman 66 collection. It came with the Batcave and the Batmobile. You had Batman and Robin, which all looked cool. You had the mansion. You had the Wayne Mansion, which was neat. But what was really cool about it is they came with an Alfred and Bruce Wayne. You don't get that very often. You really don't get Bruce Wayne doing his, reading his newspaper or whatever. And I mean, it's Alfred. Alfred does not get enough love. Alfred is basically, Bruce Wayne's father. So let's his surrogate father. Let's not pretend anything else. So he's getting some respect. And they're very small figures, but they're really cute. They're really interesting. And Mezco just keeps doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I just like this company and how they're growing. Okay, so a couple other really cool things. Like I said earlier, NECA shares a booth with WizKids and Kid Robot. Kid Robot is always a fun thing this year because we were just talking about wrestling. This year they are going to be doing wrestling blind boxes. I'm a little excited about that. They only had protos to show us, but it's just something a little different that I like.
Yeah, they had pros of Undertaker and John Cena.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing
just actually, sorry to interrupt you, but so since we have a segue for this, I did go to the Loyal Subjects booth. Not going to cover them beyond this. They also had the WWE figures, which we saw at last year's Toy Fair. I talked to them, and it looks like that line is also dead. There's not going to be any future Loyal Subjects WWE minifigures. So much for that. But Kid Robot's coming out. They're different looking. Yeah. But they're still really cool.
Yeah, and also, you know what? Real quick on the wrestling front. Tomy, of all places, of all companies, they're coming out with basically a version of Rock'em Sock'em wrestlers.
We'll see if that makes it out.
I hope it does because they're doing current people. Bobby Lashley's going to be a part of it. The Rock, John Cena, AJ Styles, Finn, like Braun. You're going to have the lineup, and they look really kind of funky, but they're fun.
They're kind of cool looking, yeah.
Yeah, they're fun, and it's Rock'em Sock'em wrestling. Yeah. I know it's not what they can't call it that, but it's just neat that they have it. But anyway, back to Kid Robot. They have the Yummy World. They have Yummy World, otherwise known as adorable-looking food products that you just want to hug and love and bring home with you. And they have a bunch of really cool new things. The one new Yummy World plush that they had that made me the happiest and most excited to see was a big heaping bowl of pho.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I tried to get that for you at the end of the day, but they weren't selling. Everything they had in the booth was not for sale. It was all actually just samples still. Sometimes a lot of these companies, they have freebies that you can take it the last day or you can buy from them. Unfortunately, everything they had was not for sale this year.
No, but this one was just cool because it has chopsticks, it has eggs, it has a little bit of everything. And
it's a good plushie.
It looks so good. They're doing a little bit more stuff with crinkly things and with more textures. And it just, if you like Yummy World, if you like plush, you're going to love this. And really, I need that bowl of pho.
Well, we'll get it.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, like I said, Kid Robot's awesome. They always have some good stuff. We got to talk about one really hot thing that's happening in the toy industry right now. And I think that's accurate. Retro.
Yes.
Retro has been very popular for the last few years. For the last couple of years, I think has been growing. That whole sense of nostalgia. And one company that's really been kind of hitting me in the nostalgia feels has been Basic Fun.
Yeah, you mean your wallet?
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, what was it, last year before, whatever, they started doing, for the 35th anniversary, My Little Ponies, the original My Little Ponies, not the Friendship is Magic stuff, and that nearly broke me. Yeah. I'm trying so hard to finish it, and it turns out it's only wave 1. 18 figures for one wave.
That's a pretty nuts wave.
I didn't know this, but they have 3 separate waves. First time I saw I didn't know this was happening. He can attest to it. I nearly started crying.
It's true.
When I grabbed all 6 of the first part of wave 1.
And now you've seen what's coming next.
And I have now seen what's coming next. And it doesn't cause me as big the nostalgia feels, but it's really good. Like the new pony stuff is really neat. And you're getting an Applejack. That one makes me happy.
OG Applejack.
OG Applejack. But it's cool because then you could have like OG and new G. That sounded so horrible. Yeah, anyway, you can get our OG Applejack and you can get Friendship is Magic, Applejack, and have them party together. And I just think that's really cool. They also have they had some new strawberry shortcake stuff, which was cool. But the new one that they're coming out with is Pound Puppies.
Ooh, Pound Puppies. I had those.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, those are really cool. And they've tried to redo, like, there have been shows that have tried to recreate the whole Pound Puppy vibe, but the animation has never been there. I don't think the story's ever been fully there. And this is just the same. You know, I mean, this is the original Pound Puppies, and it's really cool because the packaging is the same. They even were playing the original commercials, which is really cool. They're also coming out with, like, Speak and Spell. Like, the original Speak and Spell is back, Light Bright, and they're just doing some really cool retro stuff.
So now all you older adults who are watching the video can say, they're making toys like I used to play with that are good.
Exactly.
So you can buy them for your kids.
And I gotta be honest, they're trying really hard to make it like what it used to be. I mean, the ponies and Strawberry Shortcake in particular, that stuff used to be scented.
Yeah.
This stuff's scented, and trust me, it's the scents you remember. So that part was just really cool. I mean, and Basic Fun always has some really cool stuff. They had some great Connect stuff and whatever, but really, retro is where it's at.
I'm going to talk about some retro gaming since you're talking about retro right now.
Do you like retro?
I saw a whole bunch of things for arcades because arcade gaming is now back. Since the arcade stores are dead, or whatever is dead. Arcade gaming is dead, but a lot of companies are bringing it back. So I'm going to start biggest to little. Okay. Because I saw 4 booths that I think will be very interesting to a lot of folks. So we did a live stream from Arcade 1UP, which was a lot of fun. We had a great tour with them. And I don't know if you got a chance to even see them or not.
I know Arcade 1UP.
Okay, yeah,
they have the big one.
They make
Rampage.
Oh, they have big ones still, right?
They're the ones that have Rampage. Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. If they're who I think it is, then.
So they have a lot of new games joining the lineup this year. We saw Golden Tee, the golf game, which is really cool. Final Fight is coming to the cabinets. And Mortal Kombat series now also is joining. And there's some other things as well.
That makes sense though. Good.
Yeah. You guys check out the live stream if you want to see everything that's coming out because I can't remember all of it. But the cool news is, aside from the fact that their regular size arcade cabinets are coming out, they have 2 new sizes. They have a tabletop one that we can actually play like right here, like this.
Oh my god, I remember them talking about that!
So that's finally out, because I think they mentioned it last year. So that's coming out. And then they have another size, they're calling it Wallcades. So it's a mountable arcade unit that you put on your wall. So it's, again, about the same size probably as the tabletop one, but it's much thinner. And it's still the exact same functional cabinet. And again, all these cabinets have multiple games, not just one game on them. There's usually at least 3 to 4.
We need to get our hands on this.
Let's hope that we can, because they're really cool. And they also have stools coming out, which are really neat also. They have plushies now as well. So they're really expanding their whole line. Yeah, they're going to have plushies. Not playable arcade games, but characters from the games.
I figured that much.
And they're going to have also marquees, which is the artwork that used to be on top of those cabinets. So they're going hard with the retro vibe. Very cool. And now going down in size a little bit.
Real quickly, weren't they the ones who also were one of the winners for Toy of the Year?
Yes, they were one of the big winners this year at Toy Fair. I don't remember exactly what award it was.
I think it was a tech award.
Yeah, I think it was Best Tech Toy or something like that.
Because these things are the coolest thing!
They're very cool. So now going down in size, I'm going to talk about a company who I saw out in the Launchpad area. It's a company called New Wave Toys. And so they are making fully functional arcade cabinets that are 1/6 scale. Meaning your 12-inch action figures will fit and be able to play these games, or you can take photos of them on those games. But best of all is they are actually fully functional cabinets. So you can play Tempest, you can play, I think they had Space Invaders.
Oh my gosh, yes, I think it's...
Street Fighter 2.
Yes, I think if they're who I think you are. I saw them from afar. I remember going, I'm coming back to you on Tuesday.
Well, luckily I got to see them. They're really cool. They have Dragon's Lair is actually the big story because of how popular that is apparently since second season of Stranger Things. They're doing Dragon's Lair.
I love Dragon's Lair.
And again, it's like they look exactly like the original ones. They're just 1/6 the scale.
Oh my god!
And they're fully functional. The Street Fighter 2 cabinet.
We need to get those.
Yes, the Street Fighter 2 cabinet actually is the only one now that has a second player controller. So you can actually play it with 2 people at the same time, and it's.
Ooh, how does that work? It'd be like.
Well, no, it's a so instead of being on the unit, you pull it out of the back of the machine. And it's connected through USB, so you can be next to it like this playing it.
Oh, that's cool and not as much fun.
That's still fun, and it's a heck of a challenge to play the game.
I'm just saying, there's more fun when you can be next to somebody and be like, "Rah, yeah, you stop! You're gonna stop! That looked like we were trying. I don't know.
I don't know.
So
then again, going down a little bit more in size. We then went to my arcade. I didn't really take too many photos or videos there because it was early Sunday morning when I met them. But they're continuing their line of arcade cabinets, which we looked at the Karate Champ one. You remember them?
Yeah, that was really fun. I like that one.
And they were really good cabinets. We really liked them. They were great. They have a whole bunch of new games coming out. So again, there's something to look out for. Elevator Action, I think, is going to be one of the new ones. It's going to be an exclusive to certain stores. That's going to be a hot one. But they also had a bunch of other gaming peripherals. They have some smaller, almost like Game Boy size peripherals, which are going to be really cool. And those will come with built-in games as well. But the thing that I'm really excited for, which is not arcadey, but video gamey, is they have a new, basically it's a Nintendo game on the go. So imagine like your Switch, how you have your screen or whatever and the controls. It's like that, but it's like it's probably bigger than the average tablet.
Ooh.
And you could put both Nintendo and Famicom cartridges in it.
That's kind of cool.
It'll last, I think it has a battery power about 3 to 5 hours. It's going to be $80.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's a really good price.
Yeah.
It's a really cool unit, really sturdy looking piece of machinery.
That sounds kind of fun.
I'm very excited for that comes out. So that's the thing to look out for from them. And then finally, the last thing I saw that was arcade that's really cool is I went to Super Impulse, and they have the world's tiniest everything. That's like their line is world's tiniest or world's smallest. So they have now a bunch of new world's smallest arcade cabinets.
Ooh, which ones?
I can't remember all what they had, unfortunately, because they had a lot. But the really exciting one is they have now the world's smallest Tetris thing. And I say thing because it's not an arcade cabinet. It's actually like a thing that's probably you could fit on a keychain. And it's fully functional Tetris. It is so tiny. It's going to be $11 when it comes out. It's like
I need that.
It's like not even half the size of my cell phone, probably.
I need that.
It's really cool.
I need that.
So for gaming fans out there, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. It's retro. Exactly. So that's basically a brief look at everything we saw.
That
really
was
brief. Because I had 59 videos this year. I broke my record from last year. I think it was 59 or 60 videos of coverage. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It was a rough weekend, but it was a good weekend. I had a lot of fun at this toy fair.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But I will say, and I know you don't really agree with me, so we'll talk about this here. I felt it was a little bit of an underwhelming toy fair, despite how much I liked all the products I saw. Because again, I loved Ectotron. I loved all the cool stuff Super7 had. There was great stuff at NECA. But the biggest thing I had an issue with was that a lot of these booths just brought product we'd seen before. And granted, that makes sense. Normally you do that, because it is a show for licensors and for distributors and for buyers, for stores. It's not really for press or for folks like you out there who are watching. It's more for business. So they want to bring in product that's available now to buy as well. And so, yeah, that's normal. But to me, it felt like there was a lot more stuff that was already on the market versus what was new and coming out.
Well, to be fair, what you're saying is like that's not entirely true. It's also always been a place where they could break new items. You know, you get to see what's coming up. You know what's coming out for the year, or at least for part of the year.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, seeing a lot of product that we already knew was out and we've already seen, yeah, it was a little bit of a letdown. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. I don't necessarily find it to be underwhelming because I think there was just so much stuff to see. But I absolutely understand where you're coming from on the whole, you know, seeing a lot of older product. I mean, I love the booths that come in and show a little bit of everything. I'm going to go back to Entertainment Earth real quickly because they're a great example of that. Because they're distributors, so they show a lot of the stuff that they're distributing, but then they also have their own stuff, and a lot of it's already out, like the Pinmates in particular. You know, they show a lot of the stuff that's out, but then they also have the, some of the new stuff, and that was oh, hey, you're still doing stuff. That's good to know.
Like, I think for me, like, NECA and Super7 are an example of a good way to do this.
Yeah.
Because especially with those two guys, when they go to conventions and stuff, they show progress. So, we've seen some of these prototypes. Actually, yeah, so Apon, for example, at Toy Fair last year, he debuted. This year, he's finally for sale. So now we have him in package in the actual production versus last year, prototype.
Yeah.
And Super7, same thing. Like, they kind of show the progress. Like, those Halloween buckets and the Transformers that we talked about, those all debuted last year at Toy Fair.
Yeah.
So now they're almost out to market. But on the other hand, again, this is where I feel it's a little underwhelming. A lot of companies were revealing things days before Toy Fair.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That also kind of killed it for me. We talked about this last year, how a lot of companies were like teasing things ahead of time. This year, way more stuff was teased in advance.
Yeah, but that's not teased. Yeah, that's just, I have nothing wrong with the tease. I have no problem with the tease. But when you straight up tell us every single thing that's coming out, it's like, what? I mean...
And McFarlane was real notorious for that this year. McFarlane, they pretty much revealed everything new they had, except for, I think, like...
Well, they couldn't reveal the
they did reveal Harry Potter that they had it. They didn't show photos, but I'm trying to think like what maybe Cuphead was the only thing that we didn't really know about. But
and I'll even go so far as, I'm sorry guys if you see this, but even Mezco a little bit. They actually so their press event was at 9. On the first day, they posted what was in the press review bag that they gave, and it was like, what? Why would I don't want to be spoiled about that? It's like, really? I mean, it's cool. I want to know, I want you to tell the people, but also let the press do our job and, let others know as well.
So it's once again taking away kind of what we do.
Yeah, and it makes it harder for us to reach out to you guys. And I mean, it's just weird sometimes when they do it.
And especially this year because there weren't as many reveals.
Yeah.
Most companies did not have as much new things to show.
Yeah.
So when you tell everybody days before, it's like,
so what are we doing?
Yeah.
Other than we can show it to you in person, which I know that did matter to some people, but it's like if you already know that it's there.
you don't need to see it again.
Yeah. I will say this. I did like what some companies did, where they didn't really have a lot of stuff to show new, but they showed it to you.
Still brought things.
Yeah, I mean, IM Elemental is a really good example of that, where they downsized their booth was like the same size, but they just kind of kept it simple, a
Very
little
simple
simpler.
this year.
And it was still fun. And while they weren't necessarily debuting new figures, they did have some new stuff, like their workbooks and stuff, and that was really cool, and you got to see that.
And Titan and Merchandise, who we have our toys up here on the table, in fact,
We love the Titan.
they had nothing new at all to show.
No,
But yeah, a lot of companies, they didn't really have much new to show at all.
I know.
If
and
anything.
that part was disappointing. We go there not to just ooh and ah at the toys, but yes, we totally ooh and ah at the toys.
Yeah.
But we actually want to talk about them, and we want to bring them to you, since you guys can't. You guys can't bum rush Toy Fair, even though I know some of you would love to. So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating to not be able to talk about it. I will say the one thing that was kind of interesting, Funko was surprisingly an interesting booth because they tell you everything.
They really do.
Oh my god, they tell you everything. They tell you in waves. They tell you days in advance. Okay.
They do that every event, though.
Yeah, so it's not like that big a deal. We know to expect
Yeah.
that. But I will say that seeing some of the product up close and personal, I liked some of it. I liked it better than what I saw in the emails that they sent us, because I do think it's really funny that they're doing Alex Trebek pops.
So, Andrea, let's just go real quick. Winner and loser of Toy Fair. What was your favorite? What was your least favorite?
Oh man, see, I can't even really do that. Like I said, the product that made me flip out way too much was the In the Heights Pinmates. And I know that's such a small, weird little thing, but that was kind of my big, oh my god, I need to have you moment. I saw a ton of really cool stuff. I really love the Bat family statue from QMX. And yeah, I think those are the two really big standouts for me.
I think for me, I really enjoyed seeing NECA, as I always do.
Yeah.
Seeing Bebop and Rocksteady, that was a clear winner for me.
Yeah.
And Super7's Toxic Crusader, wow, mwah, perfect figure.
Yeah.
I also really like Diamond Psylocke.
Yes.
That was a great figure. I was surprised to see how good it was.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of booths I really like. I feel like everybody had really good stuff this year. That brought new stuff. So
Yeah.
again, going back to what we said before about it being underwhelming for me at least, I will say that there was higher quality, just less quantity.
Yes. Oh wait, real quickly, the Harry Potter stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, since we can't really show you photos, we can just go, oh my god, because we
Yeah,
both had
that
oh my god
stuff.
moments. Yeah.
Oh my god, that stuff was just amazing. Like that's one of the absolute highlights. But
Can't show you photos.
can't show you photos. And in terms of losers, I can't really say that there were any losers per se. I was just a little bit disappointed on the lack of female products.
I'd say that's a loser for me because
Yeah.
that was a big push
I
that
guess so,
happened 2
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's dead, and for no reason other than itself.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll say that would be the big loser then.
Yeah, because I was sad to see that too. Because, for a while ago, it was like such a great big thing. Hasbro got in on it, and
Yeah, I
Mattel got in on it, and now they've all given up.
Yeah,
And that's really
ridiculous.
disappointing that these big companies give up when they basically shot themselves in the foot from day one with how they put these things together.
Exactly.
So their own fault.
Yeah, so that's like the big loser of the whole thing. Overall, I think that they tried their best. I think Toy Fair, I think the companies tried their best to bring us some new interesting products. Given the state that the toy industry is in at the moment with the loss of Toys R Us and some other stuff going on, they're doing what they can. And
Yeah.
so for that, I didn't find it necessarily underwhelming, but there were disappointments.
So if you guys want to see most of everything what we saw, but not everything, because some things we weren't allowed to take photos of, obviously,
Sorry.
and some things we just didn't have a chance to really cover.
Yeah.
But take a look at our YouTube channel at Nerd News Today, because we have so much live streams and post-live stream event coverage.
Oh, yeah.
So many things, a lot more than what we talked about here today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm Matthew,
I'm Andrea.
and this was our Nerd News Today wrap-up of Toy Fair 2019. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys, of course, will smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and do all the things. But for real, thank you to all the new viewers who are here who joined us from Toy Fair.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome to Nerd News Today. We're going to have a good year this year.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking it off with Toy Fair. So we'll see you guys very soon with some more stuff. Bye-bye.